good afternoon, everyone. We're going to have a quick chat about the game yesterday, Leicester Arsenal, and then we're going to get into very nervy Steve here, who is looking very pensive for the Man United Newcastle Carryabag Cup final. Steve, how are you feeling, mate?
Talking backstage, you know what? I feel good at the moment. I just want the game to kick off. I want it, it's like when you go to the doctor and they're like, all right, we're gonna give you a shot, right? And then they disappear for 20 minutes to get it. And then you're just sitting there like, oh God, I don't want to do it. Just get it over with, I want the ball to kick. I want the whistle to blow. Just let's do this. The anticipation is killing me. But I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I wouldn't. But yeah, thanks for having me on the show, man. Thank you.
No, you're always welcome, man. You talk facts, and I like your opinion. Prince Foud, great game yesterday. Good result. It was scrappy, but we got another 3 points, mate. So what can you say?
And the clean sheet. What's important, the clean sheet.
Yeah.
3 points, clean sheet.
You're right.
Let's bring on whoever's next. So I said, is it Bournemouth at home? No. Actually, Wednesday night. Everton Wednesday.
Everton at home.
Everton Wednesday night. Then Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
And I want that win. I want that win against Everton. But we know what Sean Dyche does against Arsenal. We know what they're going to do. They're going to come and park that bus and try and get us on the counter. But let's have a chat about tomorrow. Yesterday. What were we talking about? We had lots of possession, but we didn't actually create that many goal-scoring opportunities. And that, I think, was a shame. Leicester, let's be honest, they were playing, they were defending deep. It's always difficult. And without, I'm sorry to say it, but without, to me, a top class striker, it's always difficult to break teams down. And I'll come to you, Prince Foud, in this one. The thing that worries me, some of our passing in and around the box, it was bloody awful. We were bouncing the ball off defenders and this, that, and the other. And that is a concern. We've got to be more clinical. I mean, would you agree with that, or do you think that's been a bit unjust?
No, I can understand what you're saying. It is a bit but I think they have to try something new, and I think it paid off in the second half. See, because obviously Trossard, he's both legged, isn't he? He's left and right, so he can switch which way. And I think Martinelli and Saka wasn't expecting how quick he can put the ball out. Even though he ain't got the pace, but he's got the brain, the experience, and the legs to do it. So I think they weren't expecting the ball that quick. So I think when Trossard brings the ball down, you will know he's like he can go left and right. But then I think a second half, you've seen Martinelli and Saka was actually picking up the ball better than they understood, because it was something different they tried, but it paid off. It paid off. But I think the Trossard, when Trossard scored the goal, I think sometimes, because Ben White and the keepers are protected. It was very soft. I seen what you said yesterday, Jens, and I agree with you. It was soft. It wasn't like, but when Trossard put out in top goals, it might have deflected his little form, because I feel sorry for Trossard, because he has been, since we bought him, he has been on form. All assists. He scored. That goal would have stood yesterday. Every game he's come on and started, he scores. So I'm not going to look too much into it. I think the first half, it was just they were a bit frail, but the second half, they found it. Now, going into Everton, I think Everton don't know what's going to hit them. I'll be honest with you. Everton. Yeah. And I know my friend's travelling over there on Wednesday night to see his best friend, Julian. But
my mate
Kyle. But I'll be honest with you, I think Wednesday you're in for a good performance by Arsenal and a good scoreline.
I think so. Afternoon, Kyle. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Sorry for being a bit late there, man. I was working all night last night, so I'm only up out of bed to tell you the truth.
Same here.
And I just to speak to Lenny. Lenny, glad you signed up to it, mate. It's a very, very good channel, that. And you get, I mean, I think, was it $72 for the year? And you get Champions League, Europa League, and all that. And loads of stuff. So it's actually a decent channel, man. And so, I think for $72 a year, it's cheap as chips, personally. Hi, Joe. Hope you're well. Jason, nice to see you, mate. I haven't seen you for a while on here, I don't think, but welcome. Craig, how are you, bro? I think, as you know, it's going to be a rocky day today for young Steve, but, it is what it is. Joe, hi, Kyle. It's the Arteta. Tell him Wednesday. Yeah, fair play. So, Kyle, we're just saying, I just asked Prince Fowles. We had lots and lots of possession yesterday, but we didn't create that many chances. The one I will come on to in a bit, we'll talk about, was the Trossard situation. Do you think, it's lovely to have all that possession, but when we don't create that many chances, that is a concern to me.
Jays, it's a huge concern for me. And I'm not one of these lads that's happy about yesterday at all. What I saw yesterday, I thought was pretty piss poor. When I was on your show the other night, Jason, I was the only one to predict it, that Leicester was going to do one on us. Then I saw the two team sheets yesterday before kickoff. And what I saw, I turned to my brother and I said to my brother, if we don't win this game 3 or 4-0, I leave it so. That's the worst Leicester side I have seen in many a year. Yeah. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And the game yesterday, Leicester did nothing. Nothing. Throughout the whole 90 minutes. They were absolute muck. You'd see a better performance here in Sunday League football up in my local pitch here. And Arsenal couldn't create that many chances against them. That's a concern, Jace. I keep going back to the point. To win a league title, you have to have a goal scorer, a natural goal scorer, that's going to score 20 to 25 goals a season for you. We lack that, Jace. We lack that big time. I was glad to see Martin Eddy in the middle there, and I was glad to see Prince's friend Eddie Nketiah dropped yesterday. But I actually believe that Eddie Nketiah might have scored a goal there yesterday. It was that type of game.
Yeah. That's the trouble, isn't it?
That's the irony.
That's the irony of it. So it is a major concern, Jace, and we are going into a fixture list of tough games. And lads, Prince just said there, and fair play to you, that we're going to go into Wednesday night against Everton. And I'm at to hear another fan saying there's a walk in the park, 3 points, Kyle, you're going to have a great time, blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. There's no Premier League game easy. And especially a Sean Dyche boring tactics. He's proved it, Jace. He's proved
it. And against Arteta in particular, it's his kryptonite.
He's after doing it over numerous occasions.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be a soft game. But we need an out-and-out goal scorer, Jace, and that's a position that we have to look at in the summertime. No point shouting for Champions League football, and you're going in there with the likes of Eddie Nketiah and Jesus, because they're not going to score you the goals.
Yeah.
This is my worry at this point. We know how tricky. And Steve, as a neutral to that game, do you think it's a concern that we had all that possession, but there was I think we had 2 goals on target. One was a goal, one was disallowed. Do you think that is a worry?
Yeah, it is a worry. And the other thing about Leicester also is that's not how they typically play. This isn't a strength of theirs. When we think of Leicester City, since their Premier League title, when we think of them as score a lot of goals, they're quick, a a lot of guys get on the score sheet, especially Madison. They've had some fantastic players who can score goals, and you know, you don't think of them as a well-drilled, hard to beat, that kind of stuff. That's not Leicester. But so they did something that they're not even known for, and they did all right defensively. Like, I thought Harry Sutar and Feist, thought they're pretty decent, as well as Christensen, their new left back from Denmark. I thought he had a pretty good game as well. And you know who the standout for me was? Ndidi. I thought Ndidi was just, he wasn't allowing you nothing. He wasn't, because he was extremely active, winning balls, second, challenges and duels and all that. And he was bossing. He was really, really bossing things in terms of not allowing Arsenal an inch. You eventually found the breakthrough, just like Harry Kane just did. It's 2-0 Spurs. And it's just like this low block for Arsenal. It really is. Ever since, ironically, Newcastle came to the Emirates and set up with the low block for large parts of that game, it's been a stumbling block for you. It's like teams finally realized, oh, this is how we have to play against you guys. And teams who aren't even good at doing that can still, albeit Leicester lost, they still, on a different day, that's a 0-0, which is what they were probably playing for ultimately. But yeah, it's a concern. Yeah, definitely a concern. And you've got a guy in Sean Dyche who that's his bread and butter. That's his bread and butter. So you have a challenge on Wednesday for sure. So problem is, though, it's like, what do you exactly change with the lineup? Because he did change the lineup yesterday, and
we did. I like the fact that he did actually make that change.
Right.
It did show something. It did show that Arteta actually does have a plan B. And my concern, though, I'm going to come to Prince Fowles on this one. It's I think leads in nicely to that. When Eddie came on, do you think he actually did anything that made a difference to that performance? Because I don't personally.
I think because Arsenal was in control of the game, and I don't think Newcastle. I don't know why. Leicester wasn't. Look, they didn't look like they were going to score. They only had one shot on target. I think every time when Arsenal going forward, like I think when he had the run, when Eddie Nketiah come on, he had that breakthrough run, and the whistle was gone. I think he didn't do much, but the thing is, I think Arsenal in control. But it's like these kind of games, though, were the games that win you titles. You're not gonna have great performances. Like in 38 games, there's no team that's had 38 great performances. They scraped out wins, and that's a potential champions, because we went to Leicester, not on the best form, and then we went to Villa and we got 6 points out of them 2 games, and now Everton are coming into our grounds. But you got to bear in mind, all right, and I'll give you this no chance. When we played against Everton, Arsenal was sugar, rubbish. We played pathetic. We were just rubbish. But there's one thing every Arsenal fan's missing. Arsenal had 2 clear-cut chances. Martin Odegaard missed a sitter to make it 1-0. Skied it. And I was a poor Arsenal. So I'm going off that. It ain't like, and the thing with and the mistake was we put Martin Odegaard on a 6'2" player. Jamie, like 6'3" player. Yeah. And that was a mistake from Arsenal. Like that was an error. That was our error. But
you talking Sutar? Harry Sutar?
Yeah. He's when you see him in real life, he's about 6'3", and you got Martin Odegaard like 5'3". Like it's a big difference, 5'4" or 5'8", something like that. So he's a big guy. But I look at it like this: even though how poor we were against the Soldiers, new manager, pumped up team, tried thing, we still had chances there, but we never took them. Coming to the Emirates, I'm going to tell you now, you're going to see a different Arsenal. I'm confident tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not with that, because Unai Emery yesterday proved the point. Said, you keep the ball low, they can't play against you, and they lost it. They lost against in Villa in their own ground. It works. It only works to a certain extent. That low block, that defensive football. It doesn't keep you up.
And the other thing is, too, Everton have only scored 2 goals in 2 different games. They won 3-0 versus Palace, and then they had 2 goals in a different game. I can't remember. They've had 2 of those games where they've scored 2 goals. 2 in the whole season. 2. So I don't think the only way they win is a 1-0. I do think you'll get the goal though, but you're right, Prince Foud. You're right in terms of the low block kind of
with
thing.
Newcastle, the reason why Newcastle give us thing because you got their strikers. They got what's his name? They got Alan Brighton. Is it that boy who's playing for Brighton? No, it's like the other one.
Wilson, Cal Wilson.
Yeah, he's an underrated striker, but he's a top striker.
Yeah.
He knows to bring the ball down. He's physically good, and he can finish.
The other thing we had to our advantage too was the height. We got tall guys on the team. Shar, Botman, and Dan Burn. All of them 6'4+. Yeah.
Kyle, what's your view on it, man? I mean, to me, it's a concern, but we'll see what happens. Give us your view.
Yeah, James, I like to be as confident as Prince Foud there. He's very confident, so he is.
Come on.
I'm not that confident. Sometimes people think I'm pessimistic. But I really think that I'm looking at it in reality terms. And the reality for me is we were extremely lucky to beat Aston Villa. Extremely lucky. That game, we could have lost that game. Don't forget that Ramsdale pulled off a wonderful save in the last 9 minutes of that game.
Bailey.
If that was 3-2 to Aston Villa, that game was over.
Yeah.
So let's not forget that. Yesterday we went out against Leicester City, a bad Leicester City, who played no football at all, and we came away with a 1-0 win. For me, that's not league title contender winners. That's not. We got the 6 points. I agree. But to me, it's not good enough to push on to win the league title. I don't think we're good enough. I don't think we have the squad. I don't think we have the players. Where was Odegaard yesterday? Nowhere. This Shevchenko situation and Tierney situation. We have major problems, that's. We have no striker. In my eyes, we have no striker. And also, we're all forgetting something. I'm listening about this game in hand.
Yeah.
I'm listening about this for the last don't know how long. I think that's enough because we're only 2 points ahead of Man City with this game in hand. With 14 games, I think there's 14 games left. Am I correct in that? 14, yeah? There's 24 games played. So we have 14 games to go. This league title is not over, Jess.
Yeah, 14.
The way the Arsenal fan base is talking, you think we're after win it already. Now, if we lose on Wednesday night, and Man City are only 2 points behind us, where would we be? Where would we be then? So,
that's a great point.
My opinion, I'm telling you, my opinion is that I don't think we're good enough, Jace, to win the league title. That's my honest opinion.
And you're going on Wednesday night.
I object. I object.
Yeah.
I reason. Do you know what? I can understand. Listen, I'm not going to be. It's obviously with Jess's show. It's everything goes like so. I'm going to speak facts.
You carry on, man.
And the fact is, I understand why a lot of you Arsenal fans are like that because before we've always got there and we've just flopped, and it's happened so many times. It's just stuck in you. But I'll be honest with you, Kyle. What you got? One thing I might maybe can pull you over is this Arsenal team now. They felt defeat. They felt it, and they didn't like it. Last year, when they bottled top 4 or they lost top 4, I think it hurt them inside for them to take that other level. Now, I understand what you're saying. Like you're not thinking about the team, but I'm thinking and the reason why I'm confident is because this young bunch, you can see they want it. They want it. It's like they go out there and play for the fans. Like Jess has been to 1,000 games. All right, he's been to so many games. I need to tell you, there was an era 8 years ago when under Arsene Wenger, the players used to lose and win. Now once come over to the fans, not even clap them, and that's why a lot of fans become negative and become like subsided, and it was like, I'll give you another example. We used to play so good football and not win the game. What would you rather sometimes have a decent performance, scrap out of 3 points, or play wicked football and lose like 5 games in a row, like we used to?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great comment there, Prince Fowl. Great comment. I said last night on my fan cam with Lee, it's better to win ugly than not to win. Bit like the old days, the Arsenal and all that. And I got slated for that. And I'm thinking, because I'll be positive, it was a great performance. Well, it wasn't a great performance. We snuck out of there.
It was a great result.
It was a great result. It wasn't a great performance. We walked away 3 points, 1-0, clean sheet. And that is what you call winning ugly. That was how it was back in the George Graham days. And everybody was happy. Yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal. So
he scored a goal, and then everyone 9 times out of 10 win. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah, but here's the thing, lads. Here's the thing. Big up the things there. You just said here about George Graham days. The George Graham days, we had the players. We go 1-0 up. That was this game over.
Yeah. Craig has put a comment here. Leicester not the same without Maddison. I think I totally agree with you on that. Steve, what do you think on that one, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't the same without Maddison, because what Maddison does is he's a playmaker, carries the ball forward, links up everything, wingers to strikers and all that stuff. And there was something else I wanted to say. I think I figured out kind of where Kyle's at, and I know exactly. If this makes sense, Kyle, let me know. If it doesn't, let me know. So Kyle's perspective on it is, you know why he demands high performances? Because he said he doesn't see the personnel is necessary, right? It's not necessary to do it. So therefore, if you want to win a league title with the players that you don't see, you don't quite see it, you have to overperform. That's what it is. Is that right, Kyle? Basically,
yeah, Steve, you're right.
These guys need to be performing at such a, overperform. They need to overperform by such an extent where it can just go up and up and up. I think
Steve, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It's like I was just saying there, and Jay's pointed out there, and he's right. I went back to the days when I was supporting Arsenal as well, back in the early 90s, late 80s, and you had under George Graham. And we win games 1-0. We won the titles with them 1-0. But we had the players to do it. We had Tony Adams centre back. We had lads that was put their bodies on the line. It was a different era of football.
Right.
It's not like them modern day footballers these days. Like if you ask me, who would I rather have, Gabriel or Tony Adams? So who do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to say Tony Adams. That's why I think that back then we had the mentality, we had the manager to get us over the line. They were fabulous. Them Arsenal teams were fabulous.
Yeah.
This Arsenal team, to me, there's a weakness. I see a weakness in this team. And I see too many positions that are still weak, in my eyes, to win a league title. And people were relying, like we're talking there to start this show, we're talking about chances created against Leicester City. But is that not Odegaard's job to create? He didn't create anything yesterday.
Nothing.
So in my eyes, we haven't got the clientele to win us a Premier League title, which is what I want. I don't want top 4. I want number 1. That's my standard.
Basically, what you're saying, Kyle, also is that you don't think this squad can keep overperforming like it did in the first half, because you're basically asking these players to be superhumans.
Absolutely, Steve. And as soon as that Europa League is coming in, don't forget. And as soon as that the fixture list, we're playing away to Chelsea. Yeah, people say Chelsea are bad.
Fulham away.
People say Liverpool. These are one games. Anything can happen.
No, Chelsea. We're playing Chelsea in the Emirates. We beat them away already. We're playing Chelsea in the Emirates.
It's still Chelsea Football Club. They have the players.
Yeah, but but you know what? They're losing. Do you know Chelsea? They're losing. Chelsea. They I don't think they're going to beat us. They won't beat us in the Emirates, bro. I'll tell you now. They're terrible, bro. I'm watching now.
Yeah,
they're shocking.
You got to be honest. They're
We'll see,
shocking,
lads.
bro.
We'll see. I like to be
But
as
Kyle,
confident as
Kyle, how many times have I said, like Kyle, it's like, for instance, all right, I don't think these kind of players are listening to their fans and not to the ex-players. I think Mikel Arteta is so stubborn, he says whatever Martin Keown says on TV, whatever Ian Wright says on TV, they've had their time, you ignore them. It's your time now. Because they're not listening to them. Yo, this ain't the Mustafis of the world and the Banyans of the world and the Kashalmis of the world. These guys have got a manager who's so stubborn that wants to win. You know that. He wants to.
He's all about culture.
Yeah. Do you think Mikel Arteta is sitting in an office saying, you know, Martin Keown was a legend? He's like saying, F Martin Keown and F Ian Wright, that bitch. You go out there and win them games. And they've come out, they don't care about top four. But I'll tell you something now, all right? The more Arsenal got to win 4 vital games from now, just 4 games. The reason why I say 4 games, because when it's 4 games, you've got 10 games left, okay? But in them 4 games, Man City got to win their 4 games. And I think our brother Steve's going to do us a favour.
You guys are Newcastle fan. You guys are, if you hate Man United, like Jez at least, you're Man United fans.
Yeah, I think that if Arsenal takes a 7-point lead, also for instance, it ain't like we're not at the start of it. We're in a crucial moment of the season. Arsenal knows they only got to win 11 games to win the league, not 14. We just got to concentrate on winning, and that's why Guardiola knows that. That's why he's got to win every game from now to the end of the season as well. And everyone's just putting the pressure on Arsenal, like they ain't got pressure too. I know everyone's going on about, that 1 point with Liverpool. That's none of my business. We're Arsenal FC. You got to understand, this manager, I'm sure he tells them, we're the team that knocked Liverpool off their perch, George Graham. We knocked them off their perch, not Man United. Arsenal did. They went there and beat them. So put that in their heads. Forget this top 4 business. I think these players don't care about top 4. They're not even thinking about top 4. They're just taking game by game, winning the title.
Which is how you do it. That's how you do it. I always look at it. You win the first half, win the second half, win the game. That means you win the game. Next up, who we got?
Forget that. It's like even Jez, like we say, and yourselves, and if you, a lot of these ex-players have come out and like, but if they don't win the league, we must. No. Mikel's not having none of that. You can see it.
Can I just say something? I hear what you're saying, Prince, but I'm going to say something to you, my man.
Yeah.
How many years has Arteta at Arsenal Football Club?
He's going into his 4th year now, isn't he?
4.
What has he won?
FA Cup as a caretaker, yeah.
So he can say he wants to win the league as long as he wants, as far as I'm concerned. Until he does it, then come back and talk to me. He's not going to win this year either.
He's winning the league, Kyle.
And he won't, and he's not definitely won't win it, and he definitely won't win it next season. I know I'm pessimistic. I know I'm negative and all the rest of it, but I'm after seeing this too many. All right,
Kyle. Okay, but if Arsenal wins the league this year, all right, everyone's missing the point. Do you know if Arsenal wins the league this year, Arsenal got to get 1 player in. They got to go and get Declan Rice. They bring in Declan Rice next season if we win the league. You see how Arsenal performs next season.
Still need a striker, though, I think.
Yeah, we'll get a striker.
Yeah.
I think they'll definitely get a striker in. I think they'll get a striker in next season. I think they'll be looking and thinking 20 million, off him off.
Back up to Forte as well.
It's a good point here from the Gooner Gathering team on YouTube. People, if you haven't, go and watch these guys. They do some nice content on there. Go and give them a like and a subscribe. They're quite a new channel, I believe, and they were on last Wednesday show. So go and show them some love, people. They're really nice guys. And lady, Galazzo on there. He said, I've just taken each game as it comes. Everton will set up defensively, wondering if we might set up slightly different. That's a very good point. That's a very good. Kyle, do you think, well, we know what Everton did. They played defensively and caught us, didn't they, on the break? But do you think we'll set up go with a different setup?
I think he might go with the same team as he played yesterday. I can't see him bringing back Eddie and Ketia back into the team for Wednesday. So he's going to go for the same team. And you know as well as I know, Arteta's very stubborn. And he's going to stick with the same tactics, I believe. And he's going to try to use the home advantage. He's going to try to use the fan base to push us on to get over the line against Everton. So, no, I said same tactics and the same things he played yesterday. Which I think, for me, I personally would play Kieran Tierney on Wednesday night because of the overlap. And if he wants to play Shevchenko, drop Xhaka, put Shevchenko in instead of Xhaka. But I don't think he's going to do that. He's a big Shevchenko man. We all know that now. And I think Tierney is out the door come the summertime.
I'll take him.
Well, no, that's a very good point because Matt has put in here a good comment. And I'll come to you, Prince Fowles, on this one. Then I'm going to come to you, Steve. Changes like Arteta did up to will need to be done in midfield. Odegaard was way off yesterday. Yes, he was. I thought he was very poor. Zinchenko in midfield works better. Now, I'm just going to make my statement. I would personally put Zinchenko in for Odegaard, or possibly if Partey is coming back to fitness, we'll start with him. We have an option there, which is always nice. And put Tierney, our left back, at left back. Why? I just don't get why we're not playing him. Foul. I mean, what do you think, mate, Prince Falk? I mean, I just don't understand this.
I think Arteta was too. I don't think it's anything to do with his ability. All right, I don't think it's that. I think Arteta's looking at you like this. Kieran Tierney, you're gonna need him now. Like you got look how many games we got in March. We got games, and he's gonna start rotating now. So I won't be surprised if he plays Tierney. I don't be surprised. You heard it from me first. If Kieran Tierney starts on a Wednesday, because he's got to give him game time. Because on the 9th of March we've got Europa League. Then we've got a league game, then Europa League, then league game, then Europa League. So we've got like about 11 games coming up thick and fast. So I won't be surprised if he do play Kieran Tierney. I just think he didn't want to gamble him in the start of the season because he got glass legs. Kieran Tierney's come on, and I think that's what Mikel's doing. I don't think there's any issue with him because he has played him, but when we played him the last time, everyone was moaning about, but he come off injured. He was being injured for 3 months.
Yeah.
Then we had to play. He had to play. What's his name there? Then he went out on loan, and then so Zinchenko will come back when Tierney got injured. So it ain't. I don't think it's an issue where people are going looking too deep into it, like, oh, he doesn't like Tierney. No, he does like Tierney. Like I said, but I won't be surprised if Tierney starts on Wednesday and he says it's Zinchenko. Do you know what? You, Xhaka and Partey can play in the middle. And I agree with you. I dropped mine Odegaard because technically Zinchenko's better than him in the middle. Zinchenko's the only position he hasn't played for Arsenal is goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Do you agree with me on that? I said that the other day. That's the only thing. And if he's good at goals, put him in goals.
Well, I actually I said offline to Lee yesterday, what we could have done in that game was actually taken off Ramsdale and brought on another midfield player because he didn't have anything to do at the back, to be fair, did he? Steve, what I mean, I personally would, against Everton, I would start Tierney because I think he supports down that left flank far better because Zinchenko likes to go inverted in midfield. He doesn't support Martinelli, in my opinion. I would say Zinchenko in the middle, Tierney on the left back position, which that is what he is best at. So why not do that? We didn't do that against Everton, so let's do it this time.
Yeah, that's what I would do as well. And the other thing that Tierney also brings that might be helpful in a low block, he scored a few from range from outside the box because he'll just take a pop. He will. He's one of those guys where he'll take a risk. He'll take a risk and he'll just if he sees a chance, he'll could sky it, could whatever, but he's never a passenger, never a guy to hide. He will always, if there's something, even if it's a low probability, if he thinks that's the best choice, he's gonna take it. He is eager to shoot. And he has scored, I think, in the Europa League this year, Tierney scored a goal. I want to say it was against Bodo Glimt or Zurich. Scored from outside the box. So we have seen him do that before. Albeit Zinchenko did score that really nice goal against Villa. So yeah, for me, bring in Tierney. Why not? Because of rotation and whatnot. I think that'd be a great idea. He's also got some brilliant deliveries into the box as well, Tierney.
Exactly.
Really good crosser. Yeah.
Say that.
And you know what? It's not just these random spamming balls in, balls in. A lot of them are accurate. A lot of them are pinpoint.
Yeah.
And even if one isn't, he hits them with such ferocity that it could take a lucky bounce and bam, own goal. You know? So that's the thing. For me, Tierney, he applies himself in the game. He makes his mark. Put crosses in, take shots if he gets a chance to, bombs up, good defender. So that's that sounds like something maybe that, you should try out because, you're struggling with the low block lately. So
yeah, absolutely. God, I don't think we have the creativity to break that down. Kyle, would you agree it might be worth mixing it up, starting Tierney, putting Zinchenko in the mid, dropping Odegaard to the bench? I don't think he's been great in the last few games, personally. So, would you think that's a good option? Mix it up?
Yeah, I think it's a good option, and it's what I would do. But the only thing I would for the Everton game, Jace, I would be inclined to play Odegaard, and I drop Xhaka and I put Zinchenko in instead of Xhaka. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I think that Everton is going to play that low block, and we're going to need creativity. And if I was Arteta, I would say to Odegaard before the game, you've been absolute dirt over the last few games. Go out there tonight, create chances for our players to win this game. Because just they're a big physical side to Everton.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I play Odegaard. But if he didn't produce the goals then Wednesday night, Jays, that's it. I'll be dropping him and I'll push Zinchenko in and bring back Xhaka. But that'd be what I would do Wednesday night myself personally. I play Tierney on the left, obviously. Trossard, Martinelli in the middle. I play Zinchenko, Jorginho, and Odegaard. Saka. That's what I go for.
Yeah, it's a good comment, actually, mate. That's a good comment. And Guna Gazri is saying, thoughts on ESR for Odegaard? Prince Fowl, what do you think of that one?
One thing about Smith Rowe, we're missing his goals. Smith Rowe last year, it's like he popped out of nowhere and he was popping them goals in. And I think from now to the end of the season, we need that pop up again. Just in 5, 6, 7 games, it's coming, scoring about 7, 8 games out of nowhere. Right. And I think we should. I think Smith Rowe got to start somewhere down the line. And Kieran Tierney. Even if you drop Zinchenko, already, if a midfielder is injured, jump in the middle. If Kieran gets injured, he's not good as Kieran Tierney is defensively, but he's wicked going forward. But like I said, he can play anywhere. On the pitch, I'll put him anywhere, but especially in the middle. I wouldn't mind. I'll try him striker. I don't care because he's like a unit type player. He can play anywhere. But I think Smith Rowe's a good shout. I think I'll go with Smith Rowe. But I think if he's going to change it, then change it properly. Go with Kieran Tierney, rest Zinchenko, put in Smith Rowe, take off Odegaard. I'll start Partey and Jorginho and maybe drop Xhaka. I'm gonna drop shot only because it's something different, isn't it? You got one who can actually pull a pass forward, and you got one who can dictate the game. And Partey just bully. He rips to shreds. But my front three will be the same: Saka, Odegaard, and then Martinelli, and then bring on my boy Nketiah to score a hat trick for my man Kyle in the last 3 minutes.
Before we wrap this up, we've got the Carryabag Cup coming up. Steve's looking nervous, pensive. Steve, over to you, my friend. Give us your view.
Oh man, like I said, I just want the game to be started. I just want it to start because the nerves are bad, but the lineups are out, so you know, again, it's just some more information, more, you know, so. But yeah, I'm hella nervous. First cup final in 24 years, and I'm only 22, so that means I've never seen, you know, my guys Newcastle in a final before. This is uncharted waters for me, and a lot of, you know, the fans obviously under 22. So it's uncharted waters, man. And you sink or swim, right? You either sink or swim. I think that we can't. The thing I'm nervous about is that in '99, and I watched a rerun of the game, and I talked with, you know, some of my older friends that were at the game. Newcastle didn't turn up against Man United. They looked beaten before the whistle blew, you know. So that's something we got to avoid, but that's something I don't expect out of this Newcastle side because, you know, we've lost some games and drawn, but the performance in the endeavor is always it's always there. It's never lacking, the effort and the you know, the willingness to play for the badge and the fans and all that. So for me, yeah, man, I'm hoping for an incredible day. I really am. We'll just have to see.
Well, I feel quite confident that Newcastle are going to pull this off. I really hope they do. I don't want to see Man United win jack shit.
Yeah, me either.
I
don't want to see them win a corner.
You know what? I want to put a jinx on Man United. I hope Man United wins 20. I hope Man United wins 27-0, but Newcastle takes the cup. The last time I did that, they lost their final against Barcelona. So just remember my jinx.
Well, thank you, Prince Fawad.
Yes, Steve, I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about the past with Newcastle against Man United. This Newcastle team is more stronger physically and mentally, I think. That was a great team, don't get me wrong. I loved watching Newcastle back in the day with, you know, all the Ferdinand, Asprilla, all them fellas, but they were very weak-minded. So I think this is a stronger-minded team. It's going to be a good game of football. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I'll be shouting from the rooftops for Newcastle to win. But, unfortunately, my soccer brain is telling me that Manchester United will win 2-0. Unfortunately. No. And I don't want that.
Don't worry, Steve.
Don't speak it into existence.
Steve, don't worry. I got you. You got hope because every time Kyle predicts a lot of win, they lose. He said we're going to lose to West Ham.
Right. That's true.
I will say this. Ten Hag is only there 7 or 8 months, and look at the job he's done at Manchester United.
Yeah.
Our manager is there 4 years. You have to ask questions, lads.
That was his first job, bro. They threw him in the deep end. Come on, bro. He was thrown in the deep end.
Ten Hag has done a much better job at Manchester United in 7 months than what Arteta has done in 4 years.
Yeah, but Arteta come into an apparatus, bro. He walked into a team that was actually good. And his experience as well.
There were times when he came in.
That's another debate. That's another debate.
Going to wrap it up, guys, because I know Steve wants to get himself set up. He's obviously crapping himself. Yeah. So I'll do the outro, guys, and then good luck, Steve. Good luck, Newcastle.
Come on, Steve.
People. Come on,
Jonas.
And
you'll be singing tonight, Steve. You'll be singing, bro. You'll be singing tonight.
I'll be going down to watch it with my 2 Newcastle friends who be there, so that'll be fun. And thanks everybody for watching. Give us a smash likes up, smash up the subs. The channel's building. Thanks very much, and thanks guys for coming on this afternoon. Steve, legend. Kyle. Go and watch Kyle Walsh TV, top fella. Does great content. Prince Fowd, where can we find you quickly before we go?
You can find me on Instagram, Prince Fouad. You can find me on YouTube, Prince Fouad TV. If you want to subscribe.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, I'll do the outro and we're out of here. Come on, Magpie.
Bye-bye. Come on, Newcastle.
Up to Newcastle.
Away the lads. Let's do it.
to hear that you've been to some far places. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Out of here, people.